my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. T-Pain, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me. Yeah. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of signs, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. It's running over with the dollar signs. Try to take it from me. Big time. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, from me, from me, from me. Big time, number 9. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
And what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a Friday get-home edition of the Ysn Power Hour. We got Foursquare going today. We got me, that's DJ. We got Trey, we got D-Rix, and we got Amo in the house today talking about all your local, regional, and national sports here on the Power Hour. We'll welcome you in for the next 60 minutes, or I guess 58 minutes because it's a 2-minute intro. And today, ladies and gentlemen, for our this day in sports history, we're going to keep it relatively local because, well, Trey doesn't like things when we talk about anything outside of the Lone Star. I almost call us the Lone Star State. What the hell am I doing? What am I doing? It's Friday. Let's just get home, DJ. Focus up. Let's get home. It's the Buckeye State. So we're going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers on this day in history in 1989. The Cleveland Cavaliers had then the longest winning streak. It doesn't say of history of the team or the franchise or the league, but at 11 games, I got to say that's probably the team, right?
Team.
I would assume so.
Because I don't want to say it's a bad winning streak because there's no such thing if you ask a coach, but 11 games isn't like anything to write home about for like league history. But
I feel like the Warriors went during that stretch where they won, like where they set the record. They had won more than 11 games in a row at one point.
Or was it 1989?
Well, didn't the Heat at
No,
one
I'm
point,
saying recently.
when LeBron got there, get over 20? Like 23, 24?
Well, I guess when you put a super team together, that's what you expect, right?
Oh boy.
But they had that run there where they went on a streak.
As you should. When 70% of your team is all-stars, you should probably
Or
go
Hall
on a
of
streak.
Famers.
Yeah. But also in 1989, gentlemen, don't forget this one. The Cleveland Cavaliers blocked 21 New York Knicks shots, tying an NBA regulation game record. So my question to you, which one's more impressive? 21 blocks in a game against the Knicks or 11-game winning streak against who the hell knows?
Blocks.
Blocks, yeah.
Blocks.
I knew it. See? That's not – it's unanimous. 11 games. I feel like the four of us and, like, Scotty could win 11 games in the NBA right now.
Listen, I'm a deadly shooter. I'm a deadly shooter, so I like those odds.
Scotty's the
Scotty's
point,
got to be
no
our point
doubt.
guard, right?
Scotty's dribbling up, talking trash the entire time up the floor.
No
Problem
doubt.
is we're all small.
Speak for yourself, man. I'm
Whoa,
like
hey.
Well, Trey,
I'm over 6 foot.
You're
Barely.
the tallest.
Barely.
You get to be the center. Congratulations.
Yeah, you're center.
Yeah, look like every D6 school.
Right.
We're just gonna go Westminster offense, and it's 3-pointers. We just run it up the floor, chucking it. That's it.
Hey,
Hug it,
hey,
chuck
we'll
it,
set
pass
screens
it.
for Donnie all day.
All day.
Make him Steph.
I feel like Donnie's a mid-range assassin.
Listen, there's not a spot on that floor that I can't just drain, bro. Drain.
Donnie gets the inbound pass, and he just turns around and fires it.
Listen, hands down, man down. You don't understand. If you cannot put your hand up on me, it is going up, and most likely it is going in.
Rain Man. Rain.
On Sunday mornings I challenged one kid from high school, and it's so funny because I turned to the guy and I said to the one parent, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna let him get up on me a little bit, and then I'm gonna talk. And when I talk, and I talk trash, and I get in his head, and all of a sudden he's up 4-0 on me, and I'm like, all right, we're going to 11. He's up 4-0 on me, and next thing he knows, it's 11-4, and I'm like, told you, you're not gonna get me." So, 42 years old and fat, and I can still let it fly.
Oh my god, I could only imagine
So
the trash that you talk. You're like Oscar the Grouch. You just live in the trash right now.
Listen, that's the easiest thing. But like when we play Turkey Bowl, it's all the old guys against the young guys, and we kill the young guys because they don't understand that we mastered this game. Okay, yes, it may take us about twice as long to get into the end zone, but we're scoring. We're
and
there.
Twice as long to recover from the game.
Well, twice, 10 times as long. But these kids, they want to throw Hail Marys every play. We're like, no, we'll dink and dunk. We'll Peyton Manning the crap out of you guys. So, oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I am called the Italian Tom Brady, by the way.
Oh, is that what you are?
Yeah.
What are you, Tom Bradino?
Listen, next time you're with me, I'm gonna text somebody and say, tell my boy DJ about my Turkey Bowl stats. Next day, this Thanksgiving, it'll be on YSN.
Say YSN special.
I just can see all these like Patriots jerseys being out there, and then there's just a bunch of INOs on there. They just tape INO on Julian Edelmanino.
I love it.
So today, guys, we're going to start off with some of the scores from last night because it was a phenomenal night in girls basketball. We start with Poland just continuing to be on a rampage. The Lady Bulldogs, 59-37 winners in the NE8 over Jefferson. Man, they just continue to roll. This is a team that at the beginning of the year, nobody was sure what they were going to see out of this team. Connie Kugris has turned into an unbelievable, sharpshooter. And she's a hustler. She's a hustler, baby.
Deej, I got news for you, buddy. She hasn't turned into that. She's been that
but
since she came out of the womb.
I get that. And with all due respect, I know that. But nobody gave her credit up until now because she had a shadow cast over her.
With Grisdale, yeah. I mean, that's it
that's
is.
not Jackie's fault. That's nobody's fault. That's not Connie's fault.
Not at all.
I think it was really interesting because we heard all of this at the beginning of the season is Poland is going to notch down. And Nick told us, he goes, okay, I'm taking notes of everybody that's saying that. And at least nobody on this show ever said that Poland was going to lose a step because, if anything, I think they're a stronger team now because there's so many haters and jibber-jabbers out there that want to talk about what Poland has to do to get back to where they were at last year. And I'm sorry.
They're relishing that. They love playing as a team. Like Morgan, Abby, and Connie have played together forever, and the fact that they know what each other's going to do, and then you add the mix of Mary Brandt, who's a phenomenal sophomore, and man, their names are escaping me right now. I apologize big time, Poland, but man, they love playing the game together. And when you have teams that love playing the game together, you get a team like Salem, you get a team like United, you get a team like Halland. Halland loves playing together right now. You know what I mean? So it's fun, a lot of fun to watch.
Steve's throwing a shout out to you. Is there any truth to this?
Hood did not beat me in an all-time free throw contest. It was his buddy Mississippi. Came in.
His nickname's Mississippi?
Yeah, Jeff Nasir.
Oh, okay.
His nickname was Mississippi. put up the money for me and Mississippi to go against each other, and I did miss that last free throw and he beat me. But listen, that was many moons ago. I've gotten thousands, if not millions, of shots up since. So if anybody wants to challenge me,
do I hear a challenge?
If anybody wants to throw it on the gauntlet,
YSN's
let's go. Anybody in the YSN viewership, if you want to challenge me in free throw contest, let's go. If you want to challenge me in a 3-point contest, let's go.
Okay. Hold up right now. We will have Power Hour sponsor this, and we will have a free throw contest. Everybody gets 10 free throws, and you have to list it. That's how it goes. You get 10 free throws. And then if there's a tie, if you go 10 for 10 and somebody else goes 10 for 10, then you have to keep going. Like, you get another 10.
Okay.
But you will be listed for a week based on your free throw percentage.
Fine.
Man.
Okay.
And we could put some Jeffrey dollars down on it, some Skittles, as we like to say.
Listen.
But let's make this. Hey, let's do this. This makes it even better, Donnie. Let's do it for charity.
100%. I mean,
everybody puts in a 20. Right?
Okay.
And whoever wins gets to pick where it goes.
Perfect.
All right.
Is that fair?
Perfect.
And you have to tape it. You have to tape it. And no BS. One time. One take, one time. And I don't want to see like 6 different takes and no cutscenes. You get a cutscene, it goes to a 0.
Don, you think you're better than the GOAT, Jackson Hendershot?
Listen, he's not. He's in high school right now playing for the Warriors. I could care less. A free throw contest? A free throw? Listen, you don't understand the method I teach these kids. Who is the greatest free throw shooter in the NBA? Who is it?
James Harden.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Steph Curry has the highest free throw percentage in the NBA. Who had it prior to Steph Curry?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Nope.
Was it Curry?
Del Curry. Who taught Steph Curry how to shoot free throws?
Ron Curry.
Del Curry. Who teaches the Del Curry method of free throws?
Jeff Curry.
Guy right here.
Jeff Curry of Sheely's. Shout out Sheely's.
No, but yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
All right, let's do that because we never got to do our pajama thing, which I wanted to do. Unfortunately, we can still do it. I mean, I don't think that's.
Listen, we got our competitive. We got our minds juicing, and we're good to go. We can think of many things to do for charity. So I'm in.
And we're definitely gonna do that. We'll start. I'll tell you what. We'll start that with March Madness because that'll fit in to the whole thing.
Gives me time to warm up.
Yeah, we do our March Madness thing, and that way maybe
you don't have to worry about me.
Anybody that wants to do it, and submit, it's $20, and then you can submit it, and if you win, it goes to the charity of your choice. Is that fair?
You better set up a YSN Venmo, pal.
We can do that.
Let's go.
We can do that. Oh, Colosimo, he's in. FYI, 86%.
Let's go. Listen, we'll do that, and I'll arm wrestle your son, Nick. No, I won't. I'm kidding. He'll rip my arm off.
Donnie, we have to remember to use men's
That's
ball.
all I use is the men's ball. Listen, I use the men's ball because I have high school boys luckily I have high school boys that come in and work with me on Sundays too. So it's always easier to the men's ball. And I'm telling you guys right now, you may think that the girls' ball is easier to shoot. The men's ball is way lighter than the girls' ball. That's why. Oh, it is because it's air mass. It's air mass. You have to understand that there's more air in a men's ball than there is in a girl's ball.
Yeah.
And it's way lighter, I promise you. I can shoot a men's ball way farther than I can shoot a girl's ball. Oh yeah. I've done it. I've done the test.
I don't know if this science matches up.
It's weird science, bro. Weird science.
This isn't Bill Nye approved. I'm telling you that right now. We're gonna have to get the guy that had Tom Brady's deflatables on the show and talk about which balls are lighter. Donnie's man balls.
This conversation is going south.
Let's keep it going. Obviously, Poland, so proud. I mean, that's awesome. They just continue to roll it, and obviously in the power rankings, that'll be reflected, I would imagine, with this weekend and what they're up against.
Do you think their West Branch loss is an outlier?
What's that?
Do you think their West Branch game was an outlier? Because it looked, that game watching them, they just looked different.
No, West Branch is solid.
Well, I'm just saying Poland itself just looked different in that game
Well,
than
I think
any
A lot of
of their
things
other
look different
games.
against West
different.
Branch.
And that's the thing about basketball. And the same thing can be said about baseball and softball is
Yeah.
you've got a completely different team from the first week of the season to the last
Till the
week of
end.
the season.
And I got to tell you right now, West Branch is going to climb to my number 2 in the power rankings because they knocked off Marlington.
That's my guy.
But how do you kick out Liberty? They haven't done anything wrong.
Listen,
No offense,
I
yeah.
fully understand that, but Cincinnati didn't do anything wrong either, and they got Bama. Okay. Liberty has not beaten those caliber teams in the top yet. They haven't played them yet, right?
And that's why the power rankings are so beautiful to me.
Yeah.
Because there's people that have your thinking, and there's people that have mine where it's, listen, Liberty, until they lose, like, I'm not good. Because there was people, I'm going to say people, wink, wink, you know who you are, that texted me right after West Branch won and said, they're my new number 1. And I said, see, the hand goes up. At least he's
Ammo. That's okay. Listen, that's okay. Because
How?
Is there not
No,
a big showdown coming up this week?
I said I'll still put Salem 1 because of that, but just the 2 wins West Branch got recently with I think with Poland and Marlington are 2 of the biggest ones in YSN
I don't know.
so far.
I think we're kind of discounting some of Liberty's wins. To be honest,
I
know
like
Brookfield's
Liberty. I
one
would
of them,
love
right?
to see Liberty Salem.
I
or
mean,
West
Liberty.
Branch. That'd
Don't
be
forget,
awesome.
Liberty beat Springfield by a lot.
Well,
And I thought Springfield. I know they lost last night in what I thought was kind of a shocker, but that is a big
shocker.
win.
We're going to get to that for a second. So put that in the freezer.
Okay, sorry.
But-
And I got something on that game too,
Okay.
with the Liberty and Springfield.
But we'll get to the power rankings and kind of how you rank them here in a little bit. All right, Springfield loses to Jackson Milton 64-60. And this is one that I think we all sit and we talk about as a shocker game. And listen, everybody, if you looked at this from all the media outlets, it was, oh my goodness, Springfield lost again. Listen, we are all discounting Jackson Milton because Jackson Milton
100%.
Guards are phenomenal. They
legit.
got some good guards.
Listen, we just played them. We just played them on Monday,
And they're
and
good.
the reason why we beat them is because there was a little menace on the floor that was disrupting everything they were trying to do offensively. Okay, but
Was she a big dog?
she was a big dog week 1. But the thing is, Jackson Milton, if you look at them with Williams and Wilson and is it Bethencourt? I can't remember. And then Darby, and they have pieces that look really, really, really nice on that floor together. They just aren't deep right now. But the reason why they decided to pick us up on that Monday was specifically because they were playing Springfield last night and they wanted to see some more speed. They want to see everything else. Our record's 2-8. Look, we have played. We just lost by 45 points to Canfield on a running clock. That is no indication of what those girls from Bourbon are, and it's crazy because like once things it played Holland tough, but like once things start crumbling, and then all of a sudden it's just like everybody just sputters. You know, last night I will say this: Springfield. When I watched that final quarter, they didn't even look interested in playing last night, and I was shocked. And early on when Liberty beat Springfield, Mullins was not 100%. She was still coming off that broken hand, so that plays a major factor.
Look at this. I mean, this to me, when I went back and reviewed the game, because I was like, okay, how did this happen? Not that I didn't expect it to happen, but I was more interested of how Jackson Milton had a blueprint and how people will like. I haven't checked the numbers, but I have to believe that was a heavily purchased game last night when it was posted.
Yeah.
Because people are going to say, how do we beat Springfield? So Chris Sigler says Springfield was taken out of their game by foul trouble. They bullied United physically. Mullen on the boards is tough to replace, and that's what it is. When your team is in foul trouble, and this could be any given night for your team, good coaches understand how to replace that. Not how to replace, but how to supplement. If one player and an elite player on their team is in foul trouble. And I'm not saying that it didn't happen last night, but I'm saying from a mental standpoint, if you lose a player and you have to replace them for any period of time, and especially long periods of time, it can take the wind out of your sails. And last night, Jackson Milton at home took the wind out of the sails of Springfield early, and that's all they needed. Because they know I will tell you this: Jackson Milton is a different brand of basketball out there. It's a different brand of mentality for a sport for a student athlete. They know what they have. They don't care if you, we, whoever covers them or not, because they're going to show up, and they take pride in being from Jackson Milton, because everybody seems to forget about them because they're not in the mainstream, and wins like this. They're sitting back today, they're reading papers, they're reading the internet, and they're saying, haha, we know exactly who we are. We're not surprised by this at all.
And I talked to Kylie Wilson about that after our game. She said specifically, we wanted you guys for this reason. And so they were already looking ahead. When they played us on Monday, they were already looking ahead to Wednesday. And they should have been, because our game honestly didn't matter. You know, it was, hey, you know what, this is a game, but more so a scrimmage for us, so we can figure out how do we go against it. It's a measuring stick, yeah. But I mean, like, they wanted Springfield, they wanted Springfield bad, and they showed up to play.
So what this does now, boys, is it opens up the MVAC, because Waterloo in their brand new prestige uniforms last night, 57-16 win over Mineral Ridge, and nobody talking about the Lady Vikes the way they should be. They're another team that just floats under that radar, and they're okay with it. They're cool with it, because they got players that can run the court both ways. They play great defense, and they can shoot the crap out of the ball on the other side of the floor. Do you like, in this scenario, wouldn't you love to be on the Blue Jays bandwagon or on the Vikings bandwagon and just live under that radar as we creep closer to that tournament time?
You got to love the underdog. And Waterloo has the winningest girls program in Portage County history.
They've got 600 wins, right?
Yeah.
What's the loss? Like 400 and like 160 or something like that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or, was it 400 or 600?
No, they have over 600 wins now.
600.
Yeah.
They just got it.
600 was Wednesday night, yeah.
Yeah, so I apologize. I knew that number. I'm sorry.
Kind of hurt a little bit to see that. You know, I root for Rage Athletics, and whenever I can, and both basketball programs are a little bit in the toilet right now, so it's kind of, you know.
He's only saying that because
they are, dude. They really are. I have friends on that team. A lot of them.
You're not gonna have many friends if you tell them they're in the toilet.
They know. They're like 1-8. They're struggling right now. It's no secret.
Well, you know who's not in the toilet is Donnie Riccatelli.
Oh my God.
He's
only saying that because I bought him breakfast this morning.
We'll see. See what breakfast does? It's just a better day for everybody.
It really is.
Let's take a look at the EOAC last night. 48-25, Leetonia takes over against Wellsville, a big win in Bear Country. Then you look at Valley Christian. They were hammered by the United Eagles. They were the flying out of the flock on that one. 63-23. Garfield with a win over Crestview last night, 53-28. That was a big one. I had the Lisbon and East Palestine game. Now listen,
that was a good game.
There was a lot of people that were like, why are you doing this game? The beauty about what I do, and I've talked to Sigler about this many times. Donnie, you and I have had this conversation. I don't care what games I do. I let everybody pick their games, and then I go to wherever is open, because I love just meeting new people and seeing how YSN is either embraced or not embraced by each and every school. East Palestine, obviously, because we live here, I live here, it's an easy one for me to get. I'm an alum. But last night, not knowing what to expect from this game, these are two teams that each wanted to win. Palestine looking to get on the board with a victory, and Lisbon looking to get their third win of the season and maybe get their program back on the right track. And you could see it from the tip. Both of these teams wanted this game. No, you could take every record, throw it out the window. This one went down to the wire, where finally Parker Henthorne, ice in her veins, drilling free throws at the end of it, 2 in a row to give a 5-point lead with 10 seconds left, and just could clinch the game for Lisbon. Palestine went into halftime down by 18, tied the game in the third quarter.
Right? Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like, people were sending messages. It was on Facebook for a little bit. This is an unbelievable game. Probably one of the best of the night, outside of probably that Springfield game. But you look at that and you go, holy cow. Like, my favorite thing about what we do is seeing the will of these student athletes to win, when they're not expected to. And when you're down 18 and you go into halftime, because I think it was Parker that actually hit the walk-off at the halftime buzzer. to make them up 18. I'm sitting there like, oh boy, Palestine can just lay dead. You know what I mean? Sit there and just lay down, play dead, roll over, whatever you want to say. They came out with fire. They went on an unbelievable run coming out, and I think Ryan Snyder, we just did an interview with him, they shot 12% in the third quarter, did Lisbon, and Palestine took advantage of it like you wouldn't believe. And it was Drano. Patience Champney is a champion because she came out and just draining buckets from everywhere on the floor. When East Palestine gets Maya Lee back, if they get Maya Lee back, who is another playmaker for them, I think some team in the tournament is going to think that they've got an easy win in that first round, and I think they're going to have a little bit of trouble. So I'm interested to see who picks East Palestine in that route, because if Maya Lee comes back, if Champney's healthy, I don't think East Palestine's had an entire team, like their entire team on the floor at the same time yet. And I'm not saying that they're going to go win state or anything, but I think somebody's going to overlook what they've battled through in the ways of adversity this year. But congratulations, Lisbon, in a 42-39 victory. I think it was 42-37, if I'm not mistaken, because it ended up being a 5-point game. So I think score stream's wrong on the scoreboard, but just unbelievable game. So did anybody catch any of that game last night? What were your thoughts? Amo, what were your thoughts?
Well, you said it, I think, on Power Hour, that it was going to be a good game that I don't think people would expect, right? So I was kind of in between games and just kind of flipped it on. I think they were down like 15 I turned it on like right in the third quarter when I was like, oh, I'll keep it on for a little bit, see what they do. And then next thing you know, Palestine got hot. Yeah, I mean, and took advantage of some missed shots by Lisbon. It was a good game.
I thought it was awesome. And
it was better than I thought. Like, turning it on when they were down by, I think it was like 15, 16, somewhere in there. And I was like you, I was like, oh, they're going to lay dead. But they did the exact opposite.
Sigler says, remove United from the EOAC, and it's pretty competitive. I can't agree with that anymore. I mean, United's on a different level than everybody is right now. But they've earned that right because they put in the work, certainly. And
they're young, too.
They play up. They play up, and that's the tail of tape, man. Like, you can play up, like Donnie, you said, some teams are afraid to play Boardman because of what division they are and who they play. You play up and you get valuable experience. You understand. You got to play teams that are maybe not like Jackson Milton did. You don't want to necessarily play Springfield every night, but you play teams that are like Springfield, that have similar offenses and defenses, so you can play somebody that's not in your uniform. Let's get back to the MVAC, where Louisville taking it to Sebring last night, 51-20. Girard with a loss last night, 55-43 to Struthers. Liberty keeps on rolling. This is what I'm saying. 51-11 over Camel. And I know people are going to say, well, it's Camel. They're getting better. And listen, you got to beat who's put in front of you. And so far, Liberty has done that each and every night, which is why I can't vote them out of the 2 spot. Not yet. Hubbard, 30-22 winners over Lakeview. And East Liverpool comes up short against Harrison Central, 38-34. All those scores brought to you by our friends over at ScoreStream, proud partner of YSN since day one. Day one. We said, hey, can we put this up at the top of our website? And they said, yeah, go ahead. How much? Free. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're in. If it's for free, it's for me. Right there. Pow. So you look at this. Let's talk about power rankings. Right before we go to break, we'll continue the conversation after. When you look at teams like this, how do you get teams in, let's say, 6 through 10? Donnie, I know you vote. Amo votes. We'll start getting some votes, hopefully from Trey, if he wants to be part of it. We'll get some power ranking votes from him. When you look at the 6 through 10, 1 through 5 usually pretty solid on a week-in, week-out basis. The 6 through 10 is where you can make noise and get yourself noticed. How do you look in and interpret the 6 through 10 from your perspective, Donnie?
I'm always the big like opponents guy. So what I'm seeing is who stepped up first of all during that week, because 9 times out of 10 you have 2 games during that week and you have a lot to show then. And if like Brookfield, who's usually like around 8 or 9, if they're playing a tough team and they playing really, really well, I'll keep them at 8 or 9. I mean, if they lose to that team, maybe I bump them to the 10 spot. But The one that I've been struggling with is that 10 spot all year, and that's it's been between Champion and Waterloo, back and forth, and I feel bad because like 6, 7, and 8, I feel like I can't change them yet because the top 5 is so solid. Even if somebody in the top 5 loses, it's hard to even move them out of the top 5. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's so hard to do. Like, people think it's easy. Like, oh yeah, we're just gonna text around and see like who's gonna do what. And like Springfield losing to Jackson Milton, that moves them to I think they're 10-2 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Springfield. So I mean, I'm probably not gonna move Louisville ahead of Springfield. You know what I mean? Only because Springfield already beat Brookfield, okay, and Louisville has 3 losses. And again, Louisville's very, very good and probably would beat Springfield matched up, just because of their guard play and their size. It's just tough. I mean, it's hard. And Brookfield's very good. They have two really good players. They have one elite player, another really good player, and then 3 solid role players in that starting 5. It would be so hard for them to move out of that 9 or 10 spot, 8, 9 or 10 spot, and I don't know. It's tough. I mean, guys, we're not being jerks about this. We're really putting some time and effort into voting, and and look, I know I'm not giving the love to Liberty right now, even though they're undefeated, and I think the world of Deidre Watson. I think she's a phenomenal coach, and she's got her girls firing on all cylinders. And you're right, they can play who's in front of them. However, when schedules happen all year, you can schedule some teams up. You can do this, you could do that. I mean, look, they play Bourbon this year, and I'm almost certain they're probably going to take it to Bourbon, only because we're not a good matchup with Liberty right now. So I don't know. I feel like with West Branch rolling, and they beat Poland at Poland. They beat Marlington, who is Salem's only loss. Okay, so I have to move West Branch to number 2. West Branch was not the same team early on in the year when they were losing. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like I have to move in the number 2.
All right,
now,
so
Salem,
let me stop you right there.
Go ahead.
If Poland and West Branch played again,
West Branch. The matchups. It's the matchups. You have to understand. Lippiett at West Branch, Kugris at Poland. Okay. West Branch has like 3 girls that are 6 foot, whatever. Poland has 1 or 2, maybe. West Branch just is not, it's a matchup nightmare for Poland, because what Poland does is they run that 1-3-1 trapping press, and West Branch is tall enough to throw the ball over top of it.
I agree with you 100%, but I think there's that it factor in Poland. Poland, to me, might be the hardest team out of all those 10 teams to beat twice in one season.
Oh, listen, I agree. It's hard to beat anybody twice in one season, and Alabama's about to find that out on Monday. Okay, but listen, and here's the best thing about it: we're talking about the Shields versus Blanche. This is crazy awesome, right?
Probably our 2 best coaches.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, and listen, Matt Reel is one fantastic coach over at Canfield as well. His strategy on display on Wednesday was something else, and I don't know. I
think we're discounting Sarah Hamilton and Salem. I'm sorry.
No. Salem is my number 1. There's nobody's touching that. Nobody's touching that. And Hamilton's going up against the Shields pretty soon here, right?
I mean, it's
wait. Yeah.
It's
coming up.
Is it this week or is it next week?
I have to check.
Salem plays Marlington next Saturday. That's the big one.
But they got West Branch in the same week. They got
they play West Branch Wednesday.
Yeah, I fully agree with Donnie. I think West Branch moves up a ton. I just a couple spots, but I don't think that they're going to the 2 spot yet. I can't
which
put them
is
above
fine,
Liberty.
and that's the best part about this is I love everybody's opinion about it, because nobody's wrong. No. Nobody's wrong in this at all, and that's the best part about it is I'm being stubborn. Because of Liberty has some great wins, but West Branch has beat the top teams in our tier. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
You
I don't
can't
know.
cheat the point system. That's the best part about this.
Right.
Is we put the point system in place so you can't beat it. Now we're not going to give the formula out for the point system because that way you can't cheat the system because it could change based on that situation. But
I said a true ranking is actually 1A, 1B, and 1C. Then I texted that to Sig because I think all three of them are.
Well, really it is. And we're, again,
truthfully and honestly, I think it's those three, and then there's a little gap. I mean, not a massive gap, and I think you can even include Poland into that 4.
Yeah,
you have to.
It's those 4.
Nothing against.
Really good.
Listen, I'll be honest. Nobody gets to see my card, right? Poland was my number 2 team last week.
Yeah,
and I got to be honest, and not to take it away from Liberty. But I know what Poland is, and I know who Poland is, and that character that they have literally from top down. And having Nick lead that team, I know the mission they're on right now. And if you're not at least aware and intimidated by Poland when they walk into a gymnasium, you are going to be the next victim. Straight up.
Who's Liberty's toughest opponent on their schedule? I haven't seen their schedule.
They played Brookfield, I believe, right?
I know that. They beat Brookfield pretty good. I think it was by like 9 or 11 points, I think.
I want to say that may be their tough. I can't remember who they got coming up.
Here, I'll look it up.
Look it up.
While we go to break, I'm going to look that up, and we'll be back. We'll be back talking more about the boys' side of things, because I think the boys' side is just as interesting.
Big night.
Big night.
My goodness, is this going to be a big night? And if you're not watching, you might not have a pulse. If you're
My
not
wife's
watching
not home. I got 5 screens ready.
Let's go, Amo.
hey, real quick, what are you paying for all that coverage?
$0.
$0. It's all free for you tonight.
FREE.
Listen, if you're going out to a game, throw up the lightning bugs, man. Watch another game while you're watching the game in front of you. Support local high school sports. We're all for that. But know that, and I'll let you in a little trick, I should say. When you get home, go back on ysnlive.com/live.
They're all over.
The links are still there.
Yeah.
If you just click on it and press play, you can watch whatever game you want until midnight when we take them off and put them into our archive. Just a little. This is me giving you a gift, a little late for Christmas. So if you want to watch those games and study them up, do it. Do it. Enjoy. It's our replay. It's free. Go for it.
How come Power Hour costs $99 to rewatch?
It does.
Is that because of my royalty?
That's what it is. It's because you had to buy your brother breakfast. That's what it was.
Oh, there it is.
All right.
One pancake, side of bacon, and toast. Come on, man.
We're going to be back right after this with a break to talk about the boys' power rankings.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense, to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
Storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Power Hour. All right, before the Power Hour, we asked who played Liberty, or who did Liberty play thus far. I have the answers for you right here. And this is all, by the way, thanks to Max Preps. So when you see our power rankings, and they might be off one game or so, it's because that's what we go off of. We go off of Max Preps because I believe the OHSAA and teams have to dial that in to Max Preps, or at least the majority do. So if our stats are wrong, I apologize, but that's the most uniform way we can do this based on the information we have. So just a little FYI. So here's Liberty's schedule to this point. Western Reserve, they beat them 64-58. Struthers, they beat them 73-45. Springfield, early December, beat them 72-41. Put an asterisk next to that. McDonald, 71-39 victory. Crestview, again, mid-December. This is before Crestview started to put it together, but still a 29-point victory over the Rebels, 69-40. Brookfield, they won by 2 points. That one was at home. Newton Falls,
That was a tough one.
a 73-29 victory on the road. Garfield, which I think is an interesting one, they won 67-63 on the road. Ursuline, they won by 20 on the road. LeBray, they won 69-27 at home. And then we had last night's, which was 51-11 over Camel.
They played Champion Monday.
Now, here's what they have in front of them. Champion, on the road. Crestview, on the road. Brookfield, on the road.
Ooh.
Bristol, at home. Newton Falls, at home. Garfield, for the third time this season? Is that
Maybe they play them in a holiday.
No, that's the second time. I stand corrected. At home, LeBray on the road, Memorial on the road to finish out the season.
They got some.
Well, they got us too. They have Bourbon at the end of the season too.
Okay, so they added that, and it's not in Max Preps yet. So when you look at that, they've got some proving that they're going to be able to do, and some yappers that can be closed, or some points that can be made for the other side where they'll start sliding down the rankings. So they could either stay at number 2 or compete for number 1 based on who they beat.
No, I have to, with that schedule. I'm sorry, but it'd be hard to move them anywhere near Salem.
I mean,
and then
there.
okay, so
There.
then, listen, I know they're there, but man, that's tough.
Hey, I'll steal Andy Hake quotes all day because that's my guy. That's my guy with the American missile as his son. I love it.
I mean, in the last part of this schedule, they've already pretty much beat most of the teams that are left. I mean, these are all pretty much
except for Champion. Champion.
But here's the thing: we
these are pretty
said
much
that.
reruns.
We said that though.
Correct.
A team is different the first week than they are the last week, and I don't know. I don't want to say that Liberty is the beneficiary of being able to be up and ready week 1, but you look at some of those teams and how they were at the first part of the season as opposed to how they are now. I don't think anybody would argue with me and say Liberty's got their hands full and they have an opportunity to prove who they are one way or the other in the next 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. I love it. Boys' side of things, guys. A lot of games going on tonight. There's a lot on the line. Amo, what do you have your eyes locked on here tonight?
So the 2 games I'm going to find interesting is Fitch and Boardman. I think that's going to be an interesting one tonight. I haven't really gotten to watch Struthers. I think I'm going to watch that one as well.
Cheney Ursuline?
Yeah, that was my third one. We'll see. Then there's some other ones in there that got my eye on. I'll probably watch Ty just to watch Louisville and Sebring. That one's not going to be close, but
just keep your eyes on the Wyndham Bombers. That's all I'm saying tonight, because somebody
they play Matthews. Do they play Matthews? Somebody plays Matthews tonight.
And listen, no disrespect to Matthews, but they're not a YSN team, so everybody knows what to expect when DJ Yoakley gets a game with one YSN team and not the other one. Because baby, call me Homer Simpson, because it's going to be like Springfield up in here. I'm going to be the Bombers all night. I'll be dancing in the stands. I'll be doing this guy. I am so jacked up for this game. Don't miss it. Don't sleep on the Bombers, baby.
There's some good games tonight. I'm
there's a
looking
couple
forward
good
to it.
Crestview and Camel.
Yeah, that one.
While I would never, ever, 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 ever count out Crestview, Camel, dude.
Looks insane.
They are legit.
They got a team, man. They really have a team.
They are legit. And I think what are they, the number 2? Let's pull that up.
Yeah.
If we could pull that up real quick. Hang on.
I think Cheney's 3.
Cheney's 3, but I think they're going to slip and slide right
They're
down.
going to slip a little bit.
And
Here we go.
Springfield? Yeah, Springfield's 4.
So Cheney, I think, at least in my rankings, they're going to slide a little. I don't know how far they slide. I don't think they slide any further than 6.
No.
But the reality is, if they lose tonight...
Yes, they are.
Mooney's going to go up. That's going to be the
Mooney's going to
beneficiary
fly. I think Struthers is a team that's underrated, too.
You know, watching
Howland has a big
Howland,
game tonight, too, right?
Yeah, don't they play Canfield? Or am I wrong?
I thought I saw it earlier. I thought they had a tough one tonight. Forget it.
I got a text I got to read real quick, boys. Liberty girls should get into the YSN Holiday Hoops Classic next year. That would test them because they're expanding to 12 teams and bringing in some very good teams, very new teams from Ohio and out of state. And
who does the Holiday Hoops Classic?
South Range.
We did that last year.
And Howland and South Range
was
and a number of teams that were.
Was West Range on that one?
No, they weren't. Westford, not this year.
No, they've been there, and so is Salem.
That's what I thought.
By the way, Howland plays Harding.
Rumor has it.
Oh, Howland plays Harding.
Yeah, Harding.
That's
going
to be
another tournament that's going to be played early next year.
Yeah.
TBD. That's going to be mid-November, something like that. I think that I'm excited about.
What's that?
It's a rumor. I can't listen. This isn't the rumor mill,
buddy. Rumors don't fly with me, buddy.
No, they do not.
I nipped that in the butt last night.
We cut to the heart of rumors. We slice them out.
Love it.
Pull out the heart of the rumor and take a bite out of it. That's how we do rumors.
That's it.
And Donnie Riccatelli's the leader of that.
The leader of the pack. Vroom vroom.
What games are you looking forward to, Trey, tonight?
I'm gonna go with the Fitch and Boardman game, like Amo said, for the big reason that both teams are under 500, and they need to get something rolling very quickly. And one of those teams needs to take off, and I believe that one of them will. However, I don't think it's gonna be Fitch. I do think it's Boardman. And yeah, I think you're gonna see. I don't think this game tonight is close. I don't.
I wouldn't be shocked if Fitch wins, though.
I would.
In honesty, I wouldn't be shocked. But
I'd be pretty shocked.
What does Fitch have to do, boys? Like, I asked this to Anthony. What does Fitch have to do to get a little bit of respect this year? Because they're there.
Listen, I'm
go
calling
above
the
500.
Game. Yeah, you're right. I'm calling the game. I'm respecting them. Before the game, and I feel like I saw something on Tuesday at Howland, out of Boardman, and I was like, wait a minute, this is different. This is different. So,
sorry,
and look,
Mark.
hey, Mark, honest to goodness, I really think, and I'm giving a ton of respect to the Fitch Falcons tonight.
Hey, Joe's a baller, but he can't do everything.
Yeah, right.
Joe's
but
a baller.
I think
I
think I saw something out of Boardman on Tuesday that really, like I haven't seen. They mixed up a lot of different stuff. It was like Pat Birch went to the drawing board and came up with some magic, man.
Here's the thing, Donnie. You and I talked about this. In life, there are employees, there are people that need to be kind of patted on the back or kicked in the butt every 2 weeks, right? Is Boardman one of those teams that they need to be juiced up every 2 weeks to stay engaged? Because the reason I ask is if that's the case, they could let a game like this, that a very good Austintown Fitch team, slip through their fingers. And I love Pat Birch. I think he's a phenomenal coach. But I think Brian Beanie is coaching that team pissed off because he does not think that Fitch is getting the respect. And a win over Boardman, and this is a rivalry. Let's make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is a rivalry. A win over Boardman might get them the respect that they need and deserve at this point in the season.
It absolutely would. But see, the thing is Boardman has had such a lock on the league for so many years, and I think it's just a whole different level when they turn on league play. I saw, like, I can't keep saying that I saw something. It was a spark that it may have been a shift in the starting lineup, but everybody, it's almost like they started from scratch after that last loss and completely revamped everything that they were doing and working on. And man, I saw kids having fun, and they put together a fourth quarter, and they have not done that in 8 games prior. They put together a fourth quarter, and they sustained.
Can you sustain it? Can you take that, bottle it up, and drink it in the fourth quarter and say, hey, let's go?
I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm going to say they are going to keep rolling. Okay?
Limp Bizkit?
Limp Bizkit. Little Fred Durst.
So here's the thing about Fitch real quick. Their last 6 games have been decided by 5 points or less, and they've been on the wrong end for what I believe is 4 of those. Yeah.
And who were those teams?
So their last 6 games were Mooney, which they won by 5. Louisville, they lost by 4. Washington, they lost by 4. McDowell, they lost by 1. Glen Oak, they won by 1, and then Canfield, they won by 1.
Those are big wins. Big wins and close losses.
And
if they beat Boardman, they're in my top 10.
I have it on good authority that they beat the Washington Generals, the Harlem Globetrotters, and the Cleveland Cavaliers in scrimmages. So put that in your top 10.
Mark Roth, can you verify that?
Oh, he'll verify it all day. He knows who does this. the Adam Schefter of high school basketball, right here. So let me ask you guys this question. Who is the most underrated team in our area? Throw out the wins and losses. Who is the most underrated, underappreciated team in our area? I am going to say, can I go first? I'm going to say Austintown Fitch. They don't even get the respect they deserve from my damn company. And that drives me bananas. I'm trying to get them into the top 10, and I can't because nobody else feels like they're just underappreciated. So Mark says, I won't deny and confirm. See, I told you. Who's the most underappreciated, just underrated team in the area that, whether they're on the top 10 charts or not, we're just not, or anybody's not giving them love. Let's start with Trey.
So the team that I'm going to choose is in the top 10, and I believe that they might be a top 5 team actually now, and they're starting to get the love. That's Mooney. Yep.
I knew it.
Yep. Mooney is winning some big games. I mean, and they're getting hot at the right moment. And this is also a team who, let's not forget, has gone far in the playoffs within the last 2-3 years. So you gotta win tonight. I forget, or do they play tonight? I think they play tonight.
Yes, they play Howland. No. They play a good one in Ysn, top one.
But nonetheless, they just beat Cheney. They're moving up in the Steel Valley. I think they're getting hot at the right time, and they have a good coach. I think Coach Palmer can really coach them boys up. So I'm gonna go with them.
When you beat Cheney, it doesn't matter if they were interested, not interested.
Yeah.
If they had guys out,
you beat Cheney.
I mean, that's the emoji with your eyes open, right?
Well, you know their strategy in that game, right?
Play defense.
The minute Clyde got the ball, it was hack-a-shack. And they shot 36 or 38 free throws, and they only made like 9 or 11 of them.
Yeah. I mean, they beat them by double digits.
Yeah, I mean that's strategy. That's knowing who you're playing, knowing your opponent.
You got next, Donnie, or you want me?
No, go ahead, Amo.
All right, so I did Mooney's first game against Western Reserve, and it was their first game, and I couldn't tell if Reserve was not up to Mooney standards or if Mooney was just that good. I couldn't tell yet because it was the first game, but after doing a couple reserves games, they're in most of the games, and they hung with Mooney for a while, and I was like, all right, this Mooney team's pretty good. But when I watched Lowville play reserve, I got a huge amount of respect for Lowville. I think are they Division 4?
Yeah, they're low. Everybody, yeah. You can't get any lower than Lowville. They have 4 guys over 6'3", and for that division, it's tough.
and they lost when they played Springfield, but Springfield's physical. Louisville's not physical. They like the run and gun. I think that's a team, but they don't. Their schedule isn't there though. I mean, they lost to Heartland. They got down big and then came back, and then they beat Camel. So I mean, they do have that as a win, which is pretty good. But they don't have the rest unless they beat Springfield, which then they would maybe get some. But I think that's a team to watch out for, Louisville. And on the girls' side, that's tough because I would say Champion or Waterloo. Waterloo probably because they don't get much attention on YSN because it's hard to get out there. And I think, DJ, I could be wrong, but I think I'm the closest one to Waterloo.
You probably are.
You and Ty.
I was going to say me. It's a tough one. So I would say Waterloo just because I don't think many people in YSN get to watch them much other than if you're there in person. On the girls.
We don't have, as of right now, I'm trying to make some shifting going on. We don't have the Carter Mooney at East game that is slated for 7 p.m. What I'm trying to do, and no pressure to Ty, is send Ty to East to do that game, and in Amo, you do the Sebring versus Louisville game. That gives us an extra game. So trying to shift that around right now.
I'm game.
So we'll see what Ty says.
Ty's down.
But I'd love to send Trey there, but Trey is under the weather and on lockdown, so he'll be back in the rotation soon enough. But I mean, we got a ton of games. I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted to see that. I want to see Moody as much as we can. I really do, because they are.
I sat beside Rocco Turner's dad, so I showed up to the reserve game. Rocco Turner's dad was beside me. I obviously had no idea who he was, right? And I was like, "Hey, I gotta set up here, and you mind moving?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then we started talking. I was like, "So who's your boy?" He's like, "Number 2. He's a sophomore, should get some game time, right?"
Just Rocco Turner.
But the problem was Rocco didn't start that game. He was shooting just in warm-ups. I'm like, that kid's got a shot. And I think he made the first 3 threes that he shot, and he gave me a wink. And I'm like, oh, dude. And then
Played you like a fiddle.
Yeah, right. And he played fantastic. He's played fantastic the rest of the day. But they have 10 kids that – I mean, they play like Salem girls. They have 10 people that are going to run at you and nonstop pressure.
Listen, whoa, let me pause that right there. How cool is it that we can say that Cardinal Mooney boys play like the Salem girls, and it is you're paying homage to the Salem girls and to the Mooney boys at the same time.
I like Mooney though.
Hergenrother's a problem.
Rocco is
so Hergenrother.
Yeah, he played me like a fiddle, dude. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, 100%, Avo, 100%. Rocco Turner is elite, and I'm not talking Joe Flacco elite. I'm talking like elite.
But he turned around and gave me that wink. I'm like, oh, you got me good, man. I appreciate that.
Shout out to our boy Berto Musk, the
Facebook jail.
Yeah, he's in Facebook jail, and he will be back with us next week, I believe. So I know he had some stuff to do. So Rob will be back with us next week. I'm excited for that. He always brings that awesome element to our show of the everyday Joe.
My under the radar by far is, and we do give them some love. They just don't make the power of the top 10 is Heartland Christian boys. I mean,
I agree.
Berdovich is if anybody gets an opportunity to see him live, you have to go watch this kid. I get all divisions, this, that, the other. This kid would start on any team in this entire area. He's just so much fun to watch, and he's got a unit with him, so.
They play Columbiana Saturday, I think, right?
Yeah, that'll be a good game.
It is
Columbiana
Saturday, just beat United. So
yeah, because my daughter's already working the scheme to go watch them play. I said, honey, I got a double header with YSN with East girls and Mooney boys. So next Saturday.
Scott is a great coach, man. And listen,
great guy.
Let's just start this real quick. Hang on. And welcome to our Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark? Joe Dickey Electric powering the Valley for the last 60 years. Visit them today, DickeyElectric.com. I'm going to start it off today, boys, because a perfect segue into Josh Scott, a guy that I've known for a few years now. Love this guy as an individual. Love him even more as a coach. And as a friend, he is second to none. So I got to say this. The stuff that he's been going through personally with just all the illness and the I don't want to say suffering, but if you don't know, you need to look it up, because Josh Scott, again, head coach of Heartland Boys, he's gone through so much, and he doesn't ask to be characterized as a hero or characterized as a survivor or characterized of anything. He's going through a lot. He's now the athletic director, the interim athletic director, as he's serving at Heartland Christian. With all the things that he's going through in his personal life, on top of all of that, the dude just keeps shoveling it on his plate, and he says, "Follow me, follow me." The dude is a true leader. He's a true role model for children, for young student athletes, whether they're boys, girls, and anything. He's a role model for me to look at, and trying not to get emotional here because of what he's meant to me, what he's gone through, and I pray for him every night. Josh, we're with you. We love you, and you, sir, are always a positive spark for YSN. So thank you so much. And again, if you don't know the story, go check him out. His personal profile, he'll tell you, because he wants to be someone who becomes a light for somebody else to guide them through their troubles and their issues. So Josh, we appreciate you. And there's so many coaches like that in our valley that are great role models now because they've had some turbulence in their life. Jimmy Francis-Celli, one of my favorite stories, what he went through personally to this point, and then what he's going through right now with his family. God, I love that guy. I love so many of these coaches, these athletic directors. I wish we could tell all their stories, and someday, I promise, we will. But today, my spark, Josh Scott. Trey, go ahead.
Well, geez, following that up's not easy at all. Jesus. So my spark's going to be positive. I like to talk about baseball at any time that I can on this show. So I'm just going to go with opening day for high school baseball. I believe we're under 90 days. So we are ever approaching the best season for sports. And yeah, just under 90 days for baseball, throwing and hitting soon and getting outside.
Amo.
Don't really have one, so I'll make one up on the spot here. I got out of work early today. So shout out to work for letting me leave early, and shout out to my wife. She's working tonight. I believe she's got a 12-hour shift at the hospital. So I'm here alone. Potentially, if you need me for Sebring, I'm down. Always.
Ty shut me down.
All right. I would go to East. I just have no idea where that's at. Never been there in my
Oh, it's awesome.
life.
And then you go to the Royal Oaks after and get the best raspberry barbecue wings on the planet.
Hey, listen, if you can get a virtual camera there, I can do some live commentary from my basement. So.
All right, we'll make that happen.
Listen, I'll do live commentary. I have no problem.
Live from the TC Lounge.
Yeah.
What do you got there, Donnie Riccatelli?
All right, I got two, both positive, because I figure my negative spark yesterday requires two positive sparks today, right? So my first positive spark is without a doubt the fact that we want to make sure we are covering everybody in this area is absolutely amazing. It gives me chills every time I think about how awesome we are to our communities and to these schools and these student athletes. It's incredible. And obviously my second spark is let's go Spartans tonight. I mean, this is going to be a great atmosphere. The student sections are going to be rocking for both. And I really hope that Austintown brings the crowd, because I know Bourbon will. And let's pack the place tonight.
You and Roth got Skittles on it?
I'll put Skittles on.
No. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Not here. No, sir.
Free throws to the deck.
Yeah.
You guys.
Free throw. I'm trying to stir some up here. You know what I mean?
Breaking news: YSN goes down because people are betting on high school sports. No, we're not doing that. No, thank you. That's going to do it for our show today. We are not betting on high school sports. That's not what we do, ever. Here, now, or forever. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. I thought it was a great show today, boys. Appreciate you taking 5 minutes into overtime. Good luck. Be safe tonight at the games, wherever you are going. Here for our panelists, our announcers, and certainly for our fans of basketball. The roads are slick still, so make sure that you give yourself plenty of time and be kind to one another, please. Let's not get in any of those crazy wrecks because of being a little hot behind the wheel. So without further ado, that wraps up our show. We'll see you Monday from 3 to 4 right here on the YSN Power Hour. Everybody have a great night.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network.